Hi everyone, my name is Kartik and my channel is about mental models. Welcome to my 8th video of this cognitive bias mini-series. In this video I will be talking about in-group bias, also known as in-group favoritism. The in-group bias refers to the tendency of favouring people who are in our in-group. In other words, we are more likely to support or believe someone within our own social group rather than an outsider. Now, it may seem like I'm saying if you know someone and they know you, then you may place a certain level of trust on them and be assured that they won't mislead you when giving advice. So, where is the bias and why is this a problem? The problem is that this bias tends to remove objectivity from the situation, and so the decision you reach may be suboptimal. Let's look at what could cause such a bias with examples. There are 3 causes. Firstly, it is natural or instinctive due to our need to identify with a distinct social group. When we categorize ourselves as belonging to a group and therefore notice people belonging to other groups, we tend to act and think in favour of the group we belong to. Typical examples of this include members in the same sports club, or where you support the same football team. It can be even as simple as being in the same age group. Here, in-group bias could mean that you favour or recommend someone for something that is in your in-group because you know them rather than another person who may be better qualified. Secondly, number 2, choose a different colour, is due to self-interest. Where there are different groups of people competing for the same limited resources, let's say housing. So let's give an example of housing. And this is also an example. The tendency is for people to favour others who are within their own in-group out of self-interest. An example would be, let's say, housing. Let's say you are good friends with someone from a social club. So that's you. That's your friend. And your friend is looking to sell their house. And they know that you are looking to get onto the housing ladder. So they know that you are renting and looking to buy. So the idea is that they know that you're renting, they know that you're looking to buy, and so they want to help you because they are your friend. Then as you are in their in-group, they may tell you about their house in advance of speaking to an estate agent and listing it on the market. Now, of course, if you propose a significantly lower price to buy their house than the market value, they may go elsewhere. But initially, they will want to sell it to someone they know rather than go through the whole process of putting it on the market, putting their house on the market, that is, and maybe selling it to someone they don't know. In this example, the problem here is that your friend could have got a significantly higher value for their house if they had listed it on the market. Now, this is hypothetical, but by not even listing their house, they would not be able to consider other potentially better offers. So again, the decision could be suboptimal in terms of getting the best price for their house. So they want to sell to you, but then if they sold to someone else, then they could have got even more. But by selling to you, they're locked into a close to market value which you would provide. Thirdly, there is an expectation for people to return the favour. So there's an expectation for people to return the favour where they cooperate within the same group, and this expectation can arise even where the groupings are random. An example of this is when school children are taking a PE class and they are picking two teams. So let's say PE lesson. And so even though everyone is in the same class and friends with one another, there will be favoritism to their team, even though the teams are picked randomly. So let's say you've got a class of children. You've got two teams picked. At random. So you've got team 1 here, and you've got team 2 here. Now, the children individually will want their team to win at this game, and this child will want their team to win at this game. And in order to win, the child will put in the effort to do so, but in doing so they will expect the other children in their team to also put in the same level of effort to win. So this child will expect that from this one and this one, and this child will expect that from these two. And if they know that the other children in their team are not too concerned about winning, they will also reduce their level of effort. And so the bias towards their in-group exists because there is this expectation to return the favour, which in this case is the level of effort to win the game. So these are the causes, and we've looked at an example each for them. So how do we overcome this bias? Now, it is unfortunately difficult to completely avoid, but there are a few things one can do. As I mentioned earlier, the bias tends to remove objectivity from the situation, so we need to try and put this objectivity back in. And to do this, let's say number 1, become more aware. So awareness. Become more aware of in-group bias and pay attention of how to relate to others. This way you can make yourself better able to spot in-group bias happening. Number 2, I'm going to call this outside view. This is somewhat of an obvious one, but take an outside view. Consider the view of a neutral third party, and you can do this by proactively speaking to someone who is not connected to the scenario. So that may be a friend or even a colleague at work, but it must be someone who is independent of the situation, because if they are connected to the situation, then you risk getting a view that is biased with that person's self-interest. So get an outside view. Number 3, interact with other groups of people. So in the work scenario, it may be speaking to different teams and different people within those different teams. Number 4, sort of following on from number 3, which is broaden your group. Where there are opportunities to network, meet new people and make new connections, try and seize these. When you do, you will know more people and be able to gain more perspectives from the different people. It will also make it easier to get an outside view. Number 2, because A, you will know more people, and B, by knowing more people, it will be easier to find someone unconnected to the scenario that you are resolving. Number 5, research. Now, not all situations and scenarios lend themselves to research, but where you can, do some research so that you have a baseline of facts and you can base any and all decisions on these facts rather than just your feelings. And through all of these, what you're trying to do is bring back some objectivity into the process or situation so that your decisions are not solely based on feelings or personal beliefs, but more likely to be based on real facts. And as you can see, the best way is to get more views or insights. And so these are the best techniques. There are others, but these are the best techniques. Again, going back to what I said earlier, it is difficult to completely avoid. But with these techniques, there are some ways, these are some ways in which you can curb the in-group bias. And that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next one with another cognitive bias video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.